All right, what's up, y'all? It's your man, Abuamerican, back again in the line of fire. Today we have a special guest with us, my coach who gave me my brown belt. So I'm gonna let him introduce himself instead of doing all the talking. I'm gonna let him introduce himself. So tell us your name, if you don't mind.
My name is Rahsaan. I'm known as Professor Ismail from Ann Arbor, Michigan, United States of America.
Okay, and how long have you been in Doha?
Been in Doha about 4.5 years. These guys brought me in, Akil, Abu Musa, and Abdurrahman. And actually, Abuamerican here was one of the first faces I seen was Akil and Abdurrahman here.
Okay, awesome. Akil, if you don't remember, he's the purple belt we did the interview with about 5 days ago. So, Jiu-Jitsu actually brought you to Doha?
Yeah, I have a cousin that trains in Saudi, Professor Jamal Ali Taylor. He actually called me and said he had met two guys in Abu Dhabi, it was Abu Musa and Akil, and they needed a jiu-jitsu coach. At the time I was a brown belt, about 2 or 3 stripes, training with the Machados in the USA. And I got the call, and I always wanted to live in an exotic place like Qatar, and I came.
Awesome, awesome. Change the subject. Well, not change the subject, but a little bit more on, you were talking about your history in jiu-jitsu. So, can you give us a little, a more detailed view on that?
Yeah. We started jiu-jitsu, ironically enough, actually before we started, we met some brothers who were selling tickets to a race track, and we were looking for a martial art. And the martial art we found out of all the martial arts we liked was jiu-jitsu, because I have a wrestling background. I wrestled for 4 years. I medaled in that in America, and jiu-jitsu was a natural thing. So we ended up meeting Helio Gracie, Horion Gracie, and Hoist Gracie, and also Ryan. He was a purple belt at the time. We went to their tournament in Michigan. There was a guy named David Gomez. He's very famous in America. He brought the Gracies in to Michigan, and this was the start of it.
Okay, awesome. And you say you recently received your black belt. I don't know if you covered that just now. I sort of blanked out looking at my questions here. So who gave you your black belt?
My black belt was given to me by Tyrone Gooden. It's not recently. It's about 3.5 years at this point.
True, yeah, that is correct.
So yeah, he's a Higa Machado black belt and RCJ Machado black belt.
Okay. And going on that, why is it that the term professor is used as opposed to coach? This is something that's even, as a brown belt, maybe I should know, but it's kind of...
Yeah, you know, there's a general thing. I'll give you an example. I received a blue belt from Hicks and Gracie Association, obviously, not obviously, but initially, because there was no black belts in Michigan at that time that we could train with. So Luis Lemon, great professor, gave us the black belt. Gave us the blue belt, I'm sorry. And the difference between coach and professor, there's different association things. In Hicks and Gracie, they have maybe like 5 different titles for each belt. Even a blue belt is called an assistant coach, okay, a purple, like that. So it depends on the association, but in general, after you receive the first 2 bars, after a year of being a black belt, you're known as a professor at that point. Okay. Lastly, I trained with Silvio Bering. He was a 4-stripe black belt at the time, and he told us from the beginning, hey, call me professor. You know, so that's kind of how it is.
Okay. Now, big news. It's old news for us here in Doha, but globally for any of our YouTube watchers or viewers, we just joined an association. Can you break that down to us?
Yeah, we've always been affiliated with the Machado brothers. We always trained with them. We've always showed loyalty. Participated in seminars. My trainers always went out to California for months at a time, weeks at a time. My instructor, Master Tyrone Gooden, went out to California to Higa Machado School, sparred with 4 or 5 stripe black belts, did very, very well. Went through a whole rigorous testing with Higa Machado and received this black belt. So we've always officially been with them, but now they have an association. It's very organized with Mark Macy, and we officially have all the rights to use the logos or whatnot, and we pay into the fee to do that. So we want to actually give Master Higa Machado his respect and his prompts by supporting it in a financial way, and also because we've already supported it, in an association in a respect and an honor way. But this is what it comes down to.
Awesome. It's a big move for us. Let me see. What else do we have here? Now, in terms of team accomplishments, we interviewed Muhammad Hafi. His interview came out about like 6 days ago, slightly before Akil's interview. We were talking about his competition, but we didn't actually get to see his medals. Yeah. I mean, this guy's doing great things for, you know, a guy who's been in, how long has he been with us?
He's trained jiu-jitsu about 4.5 years. He trained maybe 4 or 5 months off and on, I would say, before I got here. He was a white belt, 0 stripes, 0 level. And he's one of the many athletes that we have, including yourself, who has done amazing things in a 4-year span of time. Most guys I've seen even in this region, they're still waddling in the blue belt after 4 years. Even us, we took a long time, over 10 years, to get a black belt. That's due to different things, but the more you compete and the more you prove yourself on the mat, you go up levels, and he's always been showtime in regards to stepping up to challenges, you know, that were before him. So he's achieved a lot in that way.
Awesome. And for those who don't know, unfortunately, in the interview with Muhammad Hafi, we didn't get a chance to show his medals. The guy would be like on par with, I guess you could say, Lloyd Irving's medal chasers. The guy, if he was to wear him, you get clink, 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 all the medal that guy is, gold, silver. I mean, it's excellent, excellent fighter. Okay, now all of this led recently, to a fighter being sponsored, one of our blue belts.
Yeah.
I'm going to do an interview with him, but would you like to just drop the bomb on that?
Yeah, we have a fighter, Saber Ghanem, from Egypt, and he's sponsored by a few different people. His biggest goal, I think at this point, is to go for the MMA, but he took the advice from his trainers and from one of his trainers to establish himself more in his jiu-jitsu game. Most of the guys who won that Desert Force were established jiu-jitsu fighters. I would say 90% of them who won had a strong jiu-jitsu or jiu-jitsu background. So I advised him to go that way. One of our sponsors recently, and you'll see is the supplement house, okay? And this guy is great. You know, their main thing is bodybuilding, but he sees what we're doing and he wanted to be a part of a winning team and support us in regards to discounts and promotions, guys bringing back gold medals and whatnot, and we need that in the sport.
Awesome. So you say support, so discounts. Is there anything specific you can give with this, or is it just, is it not clear right now?
We're in negotiations right now. If you are a member of United BJJ officially, and can prove that, you can get up to 15 to 10% discount on all supplements in the supplement house, or also the diet house, which is a restaurant for guys who are looking to keep in shape. It's all clean, natural food.
Wow.
No grease, no preservatives, chicken breasts, you know, salads, vegetables, etc.
That sounds like something good for me.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. Well, been doing big things. I can only expect bigger things. I guarantee you won't be disappointed if you have high expectations of this team. Onto a subject change, education. Now, not only are you a fighter, but you're an educated man. Can you explain what school you went to, what degree field, what level of education you received?
Yeah. I have 2 degrees. I have an associate's in liberal arts from Washington Community College in Michigan, and I have a BS in business communication from Eastern Michigan University. This is in Ypsilanti, Michigan, which is a city that's connected to Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Okay. Well, not only is this my professor, he's also a close friend of mine. So I know a little bit personal history about him. You had family, children, you know, a lot of things going on at that time when you were going to university. What was the driving force? What was the push that kept you going to actually carry through to the end? Because we know a lot of people, it's easier to quit.
Yeah, it's easier to quit.
What kept you going?
I would just say, determination and faith in God. I mean, that's one thing that you can have someone who teaches you jiu-jitsu or just technique, but it needs to be a connection or power or faith. It's like Muhammad Ali. You have many boxers, but this man, when he fought in the ring, he came with faith. And so when I teach jiu-jitsu or I take a student on, no matter what their religion is, I teach from a perspective of faith in regards to the love and the sincerity and the truth that me or my cousin Jamil Ali Taylor we teach with, we have that type of care. So I think that's the driving force that kept me going.
Awesome.
I went through a divorce at that time. I had my 4 children. I took care of them. I worked 8 hours at FedEx, and I also drove 1 hour one way to train with Master Tyrone in the snow, and also 1 hour back. So when guys tell me in Doha, you can't make 15 minutes to come to Ain Khalid or come to this place, it's you don't want it. You don't want it.
Wow. Wow. That's all I can say.
And also Toledo, Ohio, we trained with Sala Ribeiro and Alexandre as well. We'd go down there, do tournaments. We participate in the seminars. Our best friend at the time that joined Jiu-Jitsu was Abdullah Banswell, received a black belt from Sala Ribeiro in 6 years. The guy won Pan Ams, Mundial, etc. etc.
6 years is fast track.
6 years of definitely fast track. He's doing like halfy with competition. So you guys gotta want it. And he drove to a different state to basically train. It's equivalent to driving from Qatar to Rahsaan, Saudi Arabia, and training, and then come back that same day to your house, and then work again tomorrow, the next morning. This is how we wanted it.
That's serious stuff. On a final topic, you were just talking about faith. So you are Muslim, right?
Yes.
Has that affected your studies in university, your jiu-jitsu? Has it had any sort of impact whatsoever?
Absolutely. As I said, when a person goes in with faith, it's one statement that a great fighter, like I said, Muhammad Ali said. He said, if God can be for me, who can be against me? And I take that mentality. Those who might be jealous of our accomplishments, or they want to cut in on what we're doing, if I put God first, nothing can really stop me. And so my faith, Islam, it teaches me whatever I seek to do. Our Prophet Muhammad, he said, peace be upon him, whatever you seek to do, seek to perfect it. And so I take that seriously, whether I'm teaching in the classroom or I'm teaching in university here or whatnot. I take that seriously. So I try to perfect things. I know I'll never gain perfection, like GSP was saying, but I'm a martial artist, but I'm seeking to perfect certain things in my game, in my teaching, or in my character as a human being, because I'm a flawed human being.
Okay, in closing, would you like to give any advice to, someone starting out on jiu-jitsu or is thinking about joining, those who've been in, just the general advice to anyone who's looking to strive to attain their black belt? Absolutely.
That's a good lead-in. The advice I give them is actually in a book that we put together. It's an e-book now, okay? So the advice, you can get it right on there. There's a book we have, it's called The Fast Track from White to Purple. Yes, the black belt is the ultimate goal, but if you study the science of goal setting, you want to start with short-term goals first, and then long-term goals. So the short-term, white to purple. Okay, we have a website, The Fast Track from White to Purple. You can register there, you get a free chapter, and then after that, it's like maybe $2 or $3, very cheap. But we deal with everything, like fast track state of mind. You have to have a state of mind first. Second thing is rep. What is repping? Repetition. How do you learn something? You have to rep it. I'm studying Arabic. I write one word maybe 20 times. This is repetition. All this type of thing. Loyalty, respect. How do you approach your instructor? How do you ask for advice? Different tips that we kind of had pitfalls in, or we learned along the way from training with many of the greats that we came across. Like, we didn't know how to to show the proper respect to some of the black belts. We trained with De La Hiva before. When I was a white belt, we trained with Abuamerican, as I said, Marcio Corleta. He's a heavyweight world champion. We trained with almost all the Machado brothers. I think Hodger is the only one I didn't train with. So you got to know how to get the good out of people. Igor Yakamor, Sambo. So there's a respect that you have to have. Meaning, like, if you're a white belt and you're rolling with a black belt, you don't try to tap the black belt, because that's not going to happen. You're just going to get yourself hurt. And I've seen people do that over and over again. So these things are covered in that ebook.
Okay, awesome. Well, what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and put those links down at the bottom in the comment section. So look out for it if you're interested, and be sure to subscribe. Professor Rahsaan Bass, I thank you very much. I see the students are in there warming up, so they're going to be looking for technique. All right.
United, us.